Hello everybody and welcome to the first installment of the NNSCRA Devour Truck Series as we are set ready to go racing for the Devour 250 here today at the Daytona International Speedway to kick off this brand new series. So, I did the sign-ups for this series a long time ago. In fact, it was September of last year. I also did the sign-ups for the Papa John's Xfinity Series, which will be debuting tomorrow. And maybe about a week or two after I did the sign-ups, I was kind of hesitant on whether or not I wanted to keep, I wanted to do these series as kind of a side attraction to the Amp Energy Cup Series. And, I've had, obviously, a few months to think about it, and, I kind of have a bunch of time on my hands at the current moment. I am in college, so I still have that to focus on as my top priority, but, I do have a lot of other, a lot of time, I guess you could say, out of college as well. So I'm going to go ahead and bring these series to you. So, yeah, but they obviously won't be as long as the Cup Series. The Cup Series is 36 pissing races, and that's a lot. So these series, the Devour Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, are going to be much shorter. The Truck Series was going to be a 16-race schedule. 10 of the races are going to be in the regular season, and then we're going to have a 6-race chase. And then we're going to kind of do like what they did with the Truck Series chase format, where they had like 8 drivers make it, and then we have the final 4 at the end. And then in this series, and as well as the Xfinity Series, we're going to be going to different tracks that we go to in the Amp Energy Cup Series. Obviously, we're still going here to Daytona, but then we're going to be going to some tracks that you don't typically see. It's kind of some fantasy tracks, I guess you could say. And we're going to be going to a bunch of those here in not only this series, but the Xfinity Series as well. And I bet a lot of you guys don't remember which truck you are, so we're going to take a look here. This is the starting lineup. I just did this randomly. So, as you can see, starting on the pole is the 81 truck of Lily Gordon, who's never been in any of my series before, and she'll be starting next to the 43 truck of Chris Dollerton. So, as we know, he is a veteran of the Amp Energy Cup Series. Our number 2 has Trent Dunham, the 07 next to the 1 of Luke Walker. And then rounding out the top 5 is the 29 truck of Mason Wood. And then we'll go here down the line all the way down to 40th, which is the 51 truck of Nick Johnson. So kind of like what we've seen in the Amp Energy Cup Series, if you win a race, you're automatically going to make it into the chase. Like I said, I think there's going to be 8 drivers that are going to make the chase, with eliminations happening, I'll figure all that stuff out later on down the line. We just know that there's going to be a 6-race chase and there's going to be 8 drivers. So, without further ado, we have the starting lineup determined. You guys have seen it. Let's go ahead and get these trucks fired up, and we'll kick off the Devour Truck Series here with the running of the Devour 250 at Daytona. Welcome back as the field of 40 drivers make their way out of turn 4 here, coming to get the green flag at the and it is Lily Gordon in the 81, Chris Dollerton in the 43. The pace truck is off, and we are ready to get the Devour 250 started here. The green flag is out in the inaugural event of the Devour Truck Series. Field comes by to complete lap number 1. It is led barely at the line by the 29 of Mason Wood. They're 3 abreast all the way back to 40th position. As you can see, 16 laps of racing here today, so a very short amount of time for drivers who are starting at the back to get to the front in order to try to win this race. As Mason Wood The BKR, Brad Keselowski Racing 29 truck goes to the lead. Here comes Rob Williams in the 18. Underneath him is Paul Minnick. Minnick in the Norm Benning colors, that number 6 machine. He comes out of turn 4 here to complete lap 2. He will lead it. Inside line, the third line here, this is Lewis McCullough. Never before has been in any of my series. The number 66 truck. Behind him, the 14 of Henry Williams, and right behind him, the 74 of Ryan. So now as they come down the backstretch then for the third time. All 3 by 3, back to 40th place. Down to block the middle lane, but cannot block the 74. Josh Cooley carrying a lot of momentum in that 74 truck. Fighting back on the outside there in the 66. And that's right, he leads that lap. We're on a lap 16 here. Sorry, lap 4 of 16. Now in the 71, sponsored by Hunt Brothers Pizza. He takes the lead here, and it's right behind him, the 78 of Kev Shearer, who's missed out on the Daytona 500 of the Amp Energy Cup Series, trying to redeem himself here in the trucks. Daniel Hartnett, same hope for him. He missed out. Trying to race for pride here in the Truck Series. Out of turn 4, leading lap number 4, getting to lap 5 is the 71 of Cole Devour, however you pronounce it. I apologize for how you pronounced it. Hartnett. 8 truck of Jessica Villanueva, a good friend of Michael Norman. Position here on the racetrack. Michael Walton in the number 4 truck. He's actually pulling triple duty. There's actually a few drivers here that are pulling triple duty here this weekend, running in all 3 series. 3 wide for the lead. Jessica Villanueva takes it away from the 78 of Kev Shearer and the 71 of Cole Devour. She will not lead that lap. Shearer leads the lap barely by about a foot over the 8 of Villanueva. Now, he's going to go to Walton in the 4. That inside line is moving. Right behind him, Carson Gum. Here, 3 Toyotas here up at the front. Now Gum goes to the inside of Walton for the lead here in turn 3. Dale Salzman. He was in the Amp and now he's here in the trucks representing the 41 colors. And he's running in 3rd place here at the moment. It seems to me like the outside lane coming out of turn 4 gets a really good run. As you saw there, Michael Walton led that lap when it looked like the 98 had an advantage. That was towards the end of the race. He could definitely have a photo finish. About that. The 98 car, 98 truck, sorry. It's going to be difficult to get used to calling these trucks instead of cars that I'm so accustomed to. Carson goes all the way to the bottom, wide open there. This is Dylan Young, who's no stranger to winning in my series here in the 02 truck. But look at the run. The 98 got off of turn 4. Look at that. He just shot straight back into the lead. When once again it looked like he was going to lose out on a couple of positions, but he leads a lap using the high line. And we've seen in the Cup Series before in the past. The bottom line is the lane that's moving, but turn 4 looks like it's going to be the top lane that gets a really good run. Carson Gum continues to lead. Dylan Young goes back to the inside here in the 02. How good a run this 98 truck is going to get as they come off of turn 4. He gets a really big run that time as well. He continues to lead back-to-back laps here. Carson Gum. The 98 truck is really fast. We are already halfway through this race on lap 9 and 16. the Devour 250, the opening race of this series. Dillapoti, another one of the triple duty drivers, as well as Dylan Young, goes to the inside of the 02 machine. 3 abreast here for the lead. Looks like the 98's lucky. As Carson Gumb's going to slide back to about 5th or 6th, is now Dillapoti. At the moment has the race lead. Dylan Young fighting back on the outside here, coming to the line. Poteet barely edges out Young. What could be a rivalry reborn? The two had such a classic rivalry in the first season. Right now we knew it here in the first season of the Devour Truck Series. Now John Allen, 05, goes to the point. He's a 05, both in the Truck Series and in the Amp Energy Cup Series. Cody Lamas, he moves to second place here. Garrett Cinder, the 92 truck, now moves into third. Not for long, though. Moving into fourth is Tommy Turbo, the 63. Look at that run Dylan Young got on the outside there. It looks like he's going to hang on to the fourth position momentarily. Is now moving on to lap 11. So far, so good here in this race. Cody Lamas thought about peeking out, but that 92 truck, Garrett Cinder, peeked out before that 11. Second place. All that's happening behind the 05 of John Art. Now here comes Cinder to the inside. Tommy Turbo, the 63, is going to make it 3 abreast for the lead. John Art can get a run here off of turn 4. I don't think he will because he doesn't have anybody helping him. Garrett Cinder, he's going to get a good run. Looks like he's going to barely lead that lap. 5 laps of racing remaining here today at the Daytona International Speedway. 3 wide once again. It's all the way to wide from the entire 40 truck field. As now, this is James Richardson in the 2 going to the lead. As he has help from the 21 of Eli Bright. There's Seth Cole, the 9 truck. The third car on the inside line. Watch the 21 there coming out of turns 3 and 4. And he is going to lead this lap, coming to get 4 to go here in the Devour 250. Richardson leads it. Right behind him is the 21 of Bright, and then it's anyone's guess from third on back. Seth Cole. Garrett Cinder battling it out there, but now Seth Cole pulls ahead. Double 0, that's Anthony Tompkins. He moves to 4th. Here comes Seth. And now here comes the 21 of Bright. The inside of the 2 of Richardson, but Seth Cole forces the issue, makes it 3 wide here up the front yet again. And here comes the 82. That is Daniel Gilbert behind the wheel of that truck. Look at that 21, got another great run on the high side. He leads the lap, 3 laps remaining here at Daytona. Seth Cole, he won the Advanced Auto Parts Clash race here for the second year in a row. 2 nights back. He's in the middle lane. You obviously want to be on that bottom lane. Heck of a run here on the 21 of Eli Bright. Nick Johnson here, I believe he started dead last, if I'm not mistaken. Here with less than 2.5 laps remaining, here he is here at the front. Right behind James Walls in the Jennifer Jo Cobb number 10 truck. As Eli Bright gets a run off of turn 4 and into the triangle, he leads the lap again. 2 laps remaining here today in the opener of the Devour Truck Series. Eli Bright out front. What will Daniel Gilbert have to say about that? What will James Qualls have to say about it as well in the 10? Double and triple duty here this weekend. They are going to learn a ton for the Daytona 500 and for the Xfinity race here tomorrow. Eli Bright continues to lead as they come out of turns 3 and 4 for the coming to get the right side this time by. It's now or never. A playoff spot is on the line for these 40 drivers. Who is going to make the move? Last lap here at Daytona. Eli Bright with the lead. Daniel Gilbert right behind him, trying to get a run on him here going into turn 1. Now look at this on the inside. It's Jonathan Zerline. He moves to second place here on the white flag lap. But Eli Bright, ever since a couple of laps ago, has not given it up. But now here comes Zerline to the inside. Does he have enough of a run? Heading into turn 3 for the final time. And look at this. Angel O'Bara, the 33. We haven't even mentioned him all race. And he's here at the front. And looks like he might pull it off. It's going to be a drag race, folks, coming to get the checkered flag. Angel O'Bara, the 88 of Jonathan Zerline, Eli Bright. And it's going to be Eli Bright at the stripe. Somehow, some way, fending off the inside line and winning the Devour 250 here at Daytona. How about that? I don't know how he pulled that one off, but he somehow, some way did, by getting a heck of a run on the far outside line, the Kyle Larson lane, to say the least. And your winner, the inaugural race here in the Devour Truck Series, Devour 250, is this man right here, Eli Bright, in the number 21 truck. We got to go back and check out a replay of the finish. That was outstanding. All right, guys, here is a replay of the fantastic finish here today. The first ever Devour Truck Series race here at Daytona. Coming down the backstretch here, it looks like Eli Bright has the advantage, but obviously that inside line is, the faster way around the racetrack. Jonathan Zerline here in the middle. It's pretty much a dead heat at this point, and then Angel O'Bara. Haven't even talked about him all race long, and he is here at the front at the end. As it looks like here in turns 3 and 4, he is going to pull ahead. There you can see about by half a truck. That 21 is more than half a truck. He's a full truck length behind the 33 at this point, but just look at the run he gets on the outside. He does this by himself. He doesn't even have the 2 truck to his back bumper. And just look at it. Look at using all of that momentum on the high line. They're coming to the finish. Surges the 21 truck just ahead of both the 33 and the 88. And there is the margin of victory. A little less than half a truck length back to the 88 of Jonathan Zerline, and then Angel O'Bara comes home in third. So, wow, what a finish. What a way to kick off the Devour Truck Series here at Daytona. Let's go, rewind it here, obviously. We're going to check out the real-time finish once again here of the finish. We use the Kyle Larson line, the Dale Jeter line, whichever line you want to put. 21 truck gets it done here today at Daytona. Here are the look at the finishing results. So Eli Bright not only wins the race, he earns himself a championship playoff berth into the Devour chase for the championship, which is obviously, a ways down the line, but he still has a lot of weight lifted off his shoulders for the remaining 9 races of the regular season. And Jonathan Zerline, so close, 32 100ths of a second, 32 1,000ths of a second away from the victor. And then Angel O'Bara looked like he had it there in turns 3 and 4, but comes home in third place. James Richardson led a couple of laps there, I believe. Finishes in 4th. Megan Atkins, she comes out of nowhere. She finishes in the top 5. Daniel Gilbert finishes in 6th. Nick Johnson 7th. Luke Walker finishes 8th. James Qualls 9th. And Garrett Cinder rounds out the top 10. And here are the rest of the finishing results from today's race. So what a way to kick off this brand new truck series here, and to have a finish like that, 3 abreast at the line. Also a very clean race with no caution. So congratulations one last time to Eli Bright the inaugural race winner, the first ever race winner here in the Devour Truck Series. So until next time, we'll see you for some Xfinity racing here tomorrow, and then the Great American Race on Sunday. Until then, I'm out. Goodbye, everybody.